Okay, so you're planning your trip to Venice and maybe you're thinking, but how do I get around? Venice is a completely car-free place. You can't exactly just call a ride share. You can't, just bike anywhere. Bikes are not allowed in Venice. How do you get around? Well, that's exactly what I'm going to explain to you in this video. Hi everybody, I'm Taylor with Travel Lemming, and I just spent 16 nights staying in 12 hotels all across the city to get to know Venice personally, to explore all the different areas, and to give travelers just like you honest recommendations about Venice, about where to stay, things to do, and in this video, how to get around. So I'm going to show you exactly how to get around Venice, the main ways, and also how not to get around Venice. So make sure to stick around to the end of this video for that reason. All right, guys, let's get into it. So the number one way you're going to get around Venice, of course, is by walking. So you're going to need really good walking shoes for this trip. Personally, I have been doing at least 10,000 steps every single day while I've been in Venice, or higher some days. So have good walking shoes. To walk across Venice, it does not take a very long time, but it takes about an hour to go right across if you're walking at a good pace. But just know that there are, there's so many bridges, there are so many canals to cross. So you're going to be going up and down the whole time. Have good shoes. Walking is, and it's honestly the best way. You can get lost in the alleyways. You can, meander. Walking is a great way to get around. And on that note, so when you're using maps, so you're likely going to be using your smartphone. You're likely going to be using a maps app to get around. They're pretty good. And I have to say, they didn't totally lead me awry on my trip. I mostly got where I was going every time. But sometimes they don't totally know where you are. And there are so many little twists and turns in the Venice alleyways that, they can't always pinpoint you. So it might just be floating around and you might just have to wander a little bit until it finds you again. So don't totally rely on the maps, but they are pretty good to get around. Okay, so one of the main public transit ways to get around is by Vaporetto or water bus. So this is the primary way that I got around if I had my luggage with me. If I didn't want to go for a really long walk, I use this mode of transportation. So you can get single-use tickets, which at the time of recording this costs €9.50 for a one-way ticket, and this lasts for 75 minutes. So you can pretty much get wherever you need to go in Venice by using this ticket. They also have different options. If you're going to be in town for a couple days, you're going to be using it a lot, or if you're going to be in town for a few days even, you can top up those tickets. They do rack up quickly. €9.50 for one trip is not cheap, especially for public transit. So they do rack up fast. Just know that when you're using the water bus, make sure to validate your ticket before you get on. So there's this little kind of like a vestibule thing where you tap your ticket, it turns green, and then it lets you go through. Make sure to do that. Or I came up against this and I had to research what to do in this situation, but I went to a water bus station that did not have a ticket machine. It just had a credit card tap. And I was like, well, if I tap my credit card, that means that I paid. But how do they know that I paid if somebody comes around on the water bus and wants to see my ticket, wants to see that I actually paid for this trip? There is a way. They have a little device that just takes the last 4 digits of your credit card number, and they can see when you paid for that ticket. So don't worry if there isn't a way to get a ticket from the water bus station. You can just show them your credit card, show them that you paid, and you'll be all set. Okay, the next way to get around Venice, this is a very expensive way to get around Venice, but it is by water taxi. So I actually took a private water taxi from the Venice airport to my first hotel. It was incredibly bougie and extravagant, if I do say so myself. I felt very good about that, but it was very expensive. It was a few $100s in order to do this. So it's not going to be your primary mode of transportation for most people. So do know that if you want to do this, you can do it. And if you want, if you're going to be, traveling for a really long time to get to Venice, you want to be at the airport, you want someone greeting you there with a sign that says your name, you can book a private water taxi. I have an affiliate link, by the way, for this in the description box below, so you can check that out. And the next way to get around Venice is by traghetto. So I see a lot of people say that, oh, you don't need to book a gondola tour when you're in Venice. Just take the traghetto and it will, it's basically the same thing. So what a traghetto is, and there's only a few of them in Venice, but they will take you across the Grand Canal where there aren't bridges. So it's basically you just go back and forth. These are super cheap. They cost around €2 at the time of filming this. which is fine. I never took one while I was here because you can just, use the bridges to cross, and I think that's super easy. This is not a replacement for a gondola ride. I loved my gondola ride. I thought it was so much fun, and it's such a quintessential thing to do in Venice. You have to take the gondola ride. However, this next tip is how not to get around Venice. Do not think that a gondola is going to get you from point A to point B. That is not the point of a gondola ride. A gondola ride is for sightseeing. It is to see Venice. It is to be in the, that quintessential gondola boat with the gondolier behind you and, see the buildings from a quiet and serene point of view. Do not think it's going to take you from point A to point B, and do not think that you can put all your luggage in there. Maybe you could pay someone to do this for you. You probably could. You can probably pay anyone to take you anywhere on a gondola if you have, the means to do so. But that's not the point of it. That's not what you're supposed to do. So just my 2 cents on that one. All right, everybody, so that is exactly how to get around Venice. If you like this video, I have so many other videos on Venice, so you can check out my full playlist on Travel Lemming on our YouTube channel, or you can go to travellemming.com, type in the search bar Venice, and all of my guides for Venice are going to pop up there. I have where to stay in Venice, I have tips for Venice, and so much more. So I am here in Venice for 16 nights, staying at 12 hotels all across the city, and so I have hotel reviews for each of the places that I stayed. I also have video hotel reviews of all the places that I stayed. So there's so much there for you. I am literally here in Venice to give travelers like you honest recommendations about how to get around Venice and where to stay in Venice, things to do in Venice, tips, all of that good stuff. So if you liked this video, if it truly helped you plan your trip, like and subscribe, and you might like this video next. Ciao!